Hello, everyone. This is a big stage for me today, not because I am getting to speak here, but I must confess something to you. When I went to college, I did not know how to speak in English. My school taught me grammar, literature, but I did not have the confidence to open my mouth. Why did this happen? Nobody knew. The fear crept in my mind since I was a small child. That, oh, if I speak and if my pronunciation is not correct, oh, if I speak and I speak something wrong, then what will happen? Nobody knew about this lack of confidence that I had. Not my parents, not my teachers, not my friends, not my family, nobody. Thankfully, I got the opportunity and I tried working on it and I could muster the courage to work on it and I could become a speaker. But it is not true for every child. When the child's mind and confidence get shaped, and when do you assess whether the confident child will be able to go forward and do things which is going to be important for him or her in life? Let's talk about a woman being pregnant. When they get pregnant, the assessment starts. You go to the hospitals, do scans, do checks, do tests regularly, every month. Or let's say, for an example, when you plant a sapling in your garden or in your flower pot, you check the moisture on the ground, you check the sunlight, you check everything, whether the big tree is going to overshadow the small plant. Why? Because whenever you are growing something, you need to take care by assessing whether the growth is happening on the right direction. Because if anything goes wrong and you are not aware of it, then what happens? It is done. It is very seldom that a correction can happen. Now in 2047, when India will celebrate the 100 years, who will be running our country? Who will be the doctors who will be taking the life-saving decisions? Who will be the engineers who are going to make our infrastructure? Who is going to shape our country? Who is going to run a democracy? It is the preschool children who are sitting in the classrooms. The 3 to 8 years old children who are in the schools today. I'll talk about a child. Let's call him Aarav. Now, Aarav's story is like this. When he was small, 3, 4, 5 years old, he was all fine in the school. He was doing all great. He was able to answer all the questions he was being asked. And all the teachers said, he's fine, he's going to do well. But when he grew up, he went till about class 4, 5, 6. There is a fear in his mind and he was always thinking whether he will be able to do it or not. And he kept the fear in his mind and was not able to speak up. Again thinking, if I speak up, then what will happen? Why did this happen? Because the assessment of Aarav from 3 to 8 years old, which is the foundational stage of learning, was not assessed by anybody. Schools and preschools who have this foundational literacy and numeracy responsibility, they're only looking at the academics. But what a child needs to become free, to become a person who can ask questions freely, who can determine that I am confident, I can do things. Are we doing that? Maybe not. So he was not a person, a child who was not intelligent. Intelligence is not the factor here. It is, he was not confident when he grew up. And it is very, very difficult to fix that. Now, ages 3 to 8 are the most important phases of life. We all know that the brain development happens till about the age of 6. And that is when the child can learn maximum number of things. We all know children are resilient. They don't fear learning anything. It is we adults who tell them that you cannot do this, this is not for you, that is not something you should explore, this is harmful for you. We are all deciding for them, but we are not assessing what is their true potential. Now the curiosity, the emotional resilience, the problem solving skills, they all get developed at this age. And there will be a big gap if you do not assess a child. If you are assessing an embryo inside the womb regularly, monitoring them, why are we skipping this 3 to 8 years of old? We have decided that examinations are bad. We have decided that tests are bad. We have decided that assessments are bad and children should not go through it. It's a general feeling. Over the past 2 decades, don't know when it changed. When we were small, it was not like that. We had regular class tests. I'm sure you all will agree. We had half-yearly examinations, annual examinations. We were scored, and our parents looked at the progress, not the comparison with another child. My parents never asked that whether that person has scored more than you or that person has less than you. What he did is, or what she did is, looked at my report card, how much did I get and where I need improvement. What changed, the shift happened, is when we have attached judgment to a test or an assessment. Let us take another example. When you go to the hospital and the nurse comes and takes your vitals, your height, your weight, your blood pressure, your heart rate, everything, do you feel scared? You don't. You feel cared for, that I have been checked of my vitals. But when you go to the doctor, even if the doctor is giving you the simplest tests, you are afraid. You think what is going to come out. So that means the tests are attached to the judgments, but assessment is attached to care. We have changed the assessment from care to judgment, and children are afraid of the judgment. If we adults can make sure that we don't judge the children, we don't compare them with others, I'm sure things are going to change for good. Now, assessment versus testing are two different aspects of understanding a child. A small child as 3 to 8 years old should be assessed without him or her knowing that he is being assessed. The teacher should observe and understand, give him tasks in play mode and understand, give them photos to identify and understand. If you understand the child, then you can fix a lot of issues which may or may not be there at this age, which is very, very small age, but later on it becomes difficult to fix. The assessment, as I said, is meant to understand, and tests are used to label. Now, assessment done right, how it looks like. It's a low pressure observation. It is not a high stake test. Do not give them awards. Do not tell them that you have done right, so this is your award, or you have not done right, so you don't get the award. Don't do that. And there has to be a skill-based feedback. Whether the child is able to understand saregama, whether the child is able to make same patterns, whether the child is able to show that if the left side is this and I have to draw the right side of this, how it looks, what is the color that I will put. These are the things which is the part of an assessment to understand. And for this, we need the teacher-parent collaboration, which is largely lacking in the school industry today. The parents are constantly putting pressure on school that I am expecting this because I am paying this. And that is becoming a problem and a pressure for the school. The school is looking forward how to grade the children A+ and how to make sure that everybody gets A+. But that is, I think, is not good for the country. Now, early understanding changes everything. Let us take the story of Radhika. Radhika was a smart child, but she had problems in speaking up. So the teacher observed this and started doing storytelling and encouraged Radhika to tell stories, read stories in the class, and also read it to the other children who are not judging her. She did not become a topper overnight. This confidence building that she can speak, she can read, and others can listen to her has made her a topper in the class. And when somebody becomes the topper, they are not only topper in story reading. The confidence gives them a power to do everything else also that is required. Now, the cost of waiting could be very high for the child, for the family, and even for the country. Ages 3 to 8, the foundations are forming very quietly. But what we are doing, we are assessing a child at 10, 12, 16, 18, but those examination results do not determine how you form the child's mind. It is already formed. We are celebrating board results, we are celebrating college educations, but why are we not celebrating the small things a child does in the classroom or at the house? So what early understanding shapes is the clear thinking. The child should be able to adapt quickly to a situation, and only then they will be able to have a deep collaboration when they grow up, and a responsible leadership will show up in the country, which we are waiting for. So the truth is, life skills suddenly don't appear at the age of 16 or 18. It gets built since the small age, a childhood, 3 to 8 years of age. We all know National Education Policy NEP 2020 has shifted the focus. It is shifted to skills from the rote learning and play-based learning from the educative rote memorization. The schools are doing great work and the policy is all set. Now we have to change our mindset. The parents will have to change their mindset, and the teachers will also have to look for assessing a child without the child being tested. Now you will say, how does it matter to me? I don't have a small child, or my child is already grown up, or I am not married. But you all should be concerned about this, because these are the children, either yours or someone else's, is going to run the future of the country. They are going to decide how our democracy is going to be run, what are the policies that we make in our country. So we should all change our mind towards children being assessed at the age of 3 to 8, and should not keep in our mind this assessment is bad for children. This is how we finish it. Thank you.